Hi guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Rita Ora, and that's Your Song. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now going into this track, I must admit it's been a little while since I actually last heard a Rita Ora track. I know she has been sort of quite controversial over the last year or so, and she's always been a bit of a controversial singer, and there has been a lot of hype around her as a person in the past, but when it comes to her music, you've sort of yet to hear what all the fuss is really about. So should we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, it's dull. It's really dull and incredibly generic and stereotypical too. It's overproduced, it's outdated, it's lyrically terrible. I mean, the lyrics are rubbish here. I can't even be nice about them. And I've given enough free passes over the last week or so when it comes to music of this variety, you know, like chart pop music. And I'm kind of at my wit's end now, so I'm not going to be too nice about this track in general either. At least when it comes to those aforementioned tracks, they either have like a strong vocal performance or they come across as if they are trying to mean well, or they have like a good instrumental part or something like that. But this song is just cheesy, it's bland, it's phoned in and incredibly lazy. Even though I've never really connected with Rita as a singer and her voice before, I can't say it's that different either or tonally unique, her voice in particular is what I'm trying to say here, to really make her stand out, especially in the exceptional crowd she's sort of based within now, especially over like a backing track like this, which is just so dull and repetitive. I'm a little disappointed, but I can't tell you I'm all too surprised. When it comes to the production of this track, I think everything just sounds so limp for me. The main synth instrument sounds like a sort of preset that would have probably been used years ago. I mean, Clean Bandit stopped using this sort of identical sound around that time as well. Also, because of its sort of slightly percussive nature, and I'm still talking about the synth here, it never really changes dynamically, so it just felt like the same looping 8-bar rhythm, and it never gets louder or quieter, and obviously never varies when it comes to the musicality. Rita's voice is overproduced, over-manipulated, and yet I didn't find it that noticeably poor. In fact, it was sort of the average style of producing when it comes to vocals of this type, you know, chart pop type vocals, and they weren't nearly as bad as, say, like Camila Cabello's type production when it comes to her vocals. As for the rest of the instrumentation though, it was just so gated and over-programmed and had terrible EQs and terrible compressions put on it, and it just literally felt as if everything was just smudged together into this weak sort of mess that literally had no dynamic development, or it was there to actually change the dynamics just from force alone, just that many instrumentals put together. It basically did no job here at all. I mean, there was no texture or anything to really enjoy, so yeah, very poor production cycle. When it comes to the musicality of this track, it's basically your age-old formula: verse, chorus, quieten chorus, double chorus. I wouldn't be so mad at this sort of weak song form if this were released, say, this time last year when everything sort of followed this type of form, but we've had such a good 2 months or so for pop music where we've had great pre-chorus sections and diverse bridges where things have actually changed up a little bit, and this track just tries literally nothing, and as I've said, it just repeats itself. It's like it's on a constant loop. It doesn't even have any decoration vocally or instrumentally or interesting transitions, meaning that after the first minute of the track or so, around that sort of point, it just becomes redundant because you've heard all you need to hear for this track. Nothing's going to change. Rita does have sort of like a proper melody here, but she wails way too often. I mean, outside of the chorus hook, it's not very conjunct, it's not very memorable, it's not very catchy, and whilst we're actually on the subject of the hook in particular, I just found that boring since it had no power or catchiness to it either. Lyrically, it's appallingly stereotypical, and I wouldn't be so mad if this had been released in another month perhaps, because this month has been so good for pop music even when it comes to lyrics. This whole sort of no more sad songs type thing, and you know, I just found it so hypocritical because, you know, on the same album there's going to be some love torn songs, and all the experiences sort of sounded like they came out of the mouths of different lyricists, because obviously Rita didn't write this herself, because yeah, the lyrics, I swear she's used almost these exact lyrics before in other songs. So all in all, it's just a very generic pop song, and to an extent you can sort of categorize it among the rest, you know, of the sort of chart pop crowd, but for me it's lazier than that, and it's just basically a commercialized waste of my time. So I gave it a G rating of 3 out of 10, which is actually below average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.